So can I ask Marie, please, if she would like to address for 5 minutes?
Thank you. It's better to stand up so you can see me. Saying that I am that small, you may not be able to see me. Right, my name is Maire Booth, and I'm actually the candidate for LibVan. Why I got involved in politics, I had a son 4 years ago. And not long after that, all the stealth taxes started to come in. And I realised, this isn't right. We need to change things. I want my son's future to be better. My son's future, as it stands at this moment in time, he's going to have to leave the island because he won't be able to afford to live here. So why would you vote for me? Simple answer, I'm just like the majority of you here. I'm full-time working mum, my husband works full-time, and we're finding our income going smaller and smaller. Our disposable income is getting squeezed. We need to change that. People need to have a decent standard of living on the island. Government wants us to grow the economy. In order for us to grow the economy, we need to have money to spend. We don't have it, is the bottom line, how it stands at the moment. The stealth taxes that are coming in, they're drip, 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 drip. It needs to stop. If you're going to tax us, be upfront and honest about it. We're grown-ups, we can take it. I live in Douglas. I live up in Governor's Hill. I've lived there for the past 4 years. So I know what's going on in the area. I know, and from speaking to people on the doorsteps, we need people to take pride, and in order to do that, we need the authorities to take pride in our area. It's small things like getting the roads painted, but that's a sign of a bigger issue within the department of the, I can't talk now, within the government. The roads across the island need to be fixed. They're not being fixed. If you don't live on the TT course, you haven't a chance of getting your road fixed. There's potholes left, right and centre. It's small things like that that we need to get fixed. There is also in the area a small group of antisocial behaviour. We need to get that stamped out. And how I think we can do that is providing facilities for the youngsters. There's not enough. We need to do more. We need to engage them. We need to go out to the schools and see what they want and talk to them and get them to see, yes, we want a skate park, and try and help them do that. That's the type of thing that we need to do. If we can, that'll make the antisocial behaviour dissipate. It means we're engaging the youngsters and we're getting them on side, so they're going to be better adults and they're going to help contribute to the future of the island. For me, government has 3 main priorities: health, education and social care. Any decent democratic government should look after those 3 things. If they're in order, the rest should fall into place. We need to have a good infrastructure in order for them to have the money to work well. But we also need to use priority spending. The way the budget is at the minute doesn't do that. Budgets at the minute are set. You have A for health, B for education, C for social care, D for all the other departments. Those other departments, it's called May Madness. You've seen it, I've seen it. All these departments are going out and they're spending money in May so they don't lose their budget. You should not be penalised for coming in under budget. You should be rewarded. You should be congratulated. We want to change that system within LibVan. We need change as well in how we're governed. LegCo needs to be publicly elected. The farce that's went on for the past 2 months has shown this. We're becoming an embarrassment. It is an embarrassment. Members of the public need to vote in LegCo. Komen, don't get me wrong, I don't disagree with collective responsibility. However, I think it should be constrained to departments and to the ministers. Finally, because I'm not quickly here because of the time, why vote for a party? Why vote for me as a member of a party? Because you're not just voting for me, you're voting for LibVan. The policies that are in my manifesto that you should get tomorrow and Monday, they're not just my policies. They're Keith's policies in Douglas South. They're Pete's policies in Ogden. They're Kate's policies in Douglas South. You know exactly what you're getting. I will stick by those policies no matter what. I'm not going to go in and say, this is what I'm going to give you, and then change my mind once I'm in there, because I think, oh, I can't do that. It doesn't matter if I can do it or not. This is what you've elected me on. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Now can I ask David Ashford, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm David Ashford. I'm currently a serving Douglas councillor. I bring with me 7 years of political experience on Douglas Council. Now, one of the things I've seen during that time on Douglas Council, by working closely with government, is where I believe government is failing. And I do believe at the moment government is failing. I think they're not moving fast enough with some of the changes they need to implement, and yet the big decisions they're ignoring completely. There's many areas where government is just not taking the decisions that need to be taken in relation to highways on our estates. Marie mentioned briefly about the roads. Prime example, we're very good at looking at the big picture. Douglas Promenade scheme coming forward. I'm in the bizarre position as a Douglas councillor where I voted against the Promenade scheme when it came before council. Why? Because I think the whole concept of the shared space is wrong. I don't think it suits this island at all. I think what we need to do is go back to basics, fix the road surface down there. That's what the problem is with Douglas Promenade, and this is where I think we're going wrong. We keep drawing up big, grand schemes. Sometimes it feels as if people just want to stamp their name on something and say, that's my legacy. Well, at the moment, we don't have the money to do things like that. I would much rather we invest on our estates, day to day, that affects day-to-day people's lives. We're all under pressure with our incomes. The stealth charges, and a lot of them, to be fair, haven't been that stealthy. They've been pretty upfront and in your face. Government, in many cases, has got out off the escalator and into the lift with them. I don't know where they expect people and their disposable incomes to actually be coming up with the money to actually pay for all this. I think also government has become disconnected with the people. I mean, one of the key things, I think a prime example of that, is the language government sometimes uses. What was the phrase we heard about those aged over 65? The age burden. What a completely and utterly inappropriate phrase to be using. Those aged over 65 actually have a positive effect on our economy as far as I'm concerned. They're the carers, they're the people who do childcare as well, for many families that are working, and the high spenders in our economy. If government doesn't have respect for different groups of people within our society, then how can they expect the people to have respect in government? And that's what we need to get back to. We need to start moving back to basics and ensuring that the core things such as policing, health, education are all protected. They are core services that we all interact with in our day-to-day lives. If we can't get them right, then what is the point of government at the end of the day? So I'd much rather we went back to basics, got the core services right, before we started dreaming up grand schemes to spend money. I am a true independent candidate. Leonard said there in the introduction I'm an independent candidate. I am. I've always been independent. Those of you in North Douglas that are in my council ward know that I'm not shy of sharing my views on issues, and I never will be. I'm free to represent your views without being tied to any party policy. If I agree with something, whether it be LibVan, government or independent policy, then I'll vote for it. If I don't agree with it, then I'll vote against it if I don't believe it's in the best interests of the island. I also, if elected, want to be a hard-working constituency member. I want to work hard for Douglas North because I believe there's lots of localised issues here as well. And it's a very diverse constituency, from Governor's Hill, Cronkerberry, 1st, 2nd, 3rd Avenue, the Glen Crutchley, St Ninians area, and also Williston, of course. I'm used to having a diverse constituency. I have one on the council in Victoria Ward, and I want to listen to people and actually represent their views, because that's what we are. We're a representative democracy, and I think we need to get back to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, and thank you very much for coming tonight on this very cold night. My name is Ralph Peake. I'm 52 years old, Manx, brought up in Laxley and now live in Douglas. I've run my own business for 23 years, and I do think it's very important we have an opportunity to actually run the Isle of Man government more like a business, think more like a business. Now, I don't actually mean we have to make a profit. I don't actually mean that we have a health service that we have to make a profit of. What I mean is we have to think more business-like. We have to look at income. We have to look at outgoing. We have to balance the books. Balancing the books is making sure that we've got enough income for outgoing. More business-like approach. Government raises income by taxation. That's where we feel that to grow the economy in a business-like way, attract entrepreneurs, attract businesses that will make money, can then grow the economy, can then provide the money that's needed for government to spend on our services, to invest in our services and our departments, to invest in the healthcare. But we have to look at these things in a different way. How are we going to look at it in a different way? Are we going to follow the same political party line? Or are we going to look at things differently in a more business-like, adult way? This is the opportunity we've got at the moment. This is the opportunity, and I see a clear difference between myself as a businessman with a lot of experience and other party politics and other people who are standing. That's the choice you've got, that's the power you've got at the moment to actually make a change. Perhaps not everybody is familiar with it, but change can be fearful. But at some point we do have to take those steps and have that belief if we want to make a difference and want to make a change. I live in the constituency and I have done for 17 years on First Avenue. I'm very pleased that I'm with my family. I've got a wife, 3 boys, they're still at school. They all have been to the Manx language school and they all speak Manx. Very proud of that. Personally, I don't speak Manx myself, but I can say more of mine, that's about it. But they're very, very good. They've actually passed their O-level, the eldest one, so I'm very pleased with that. We all want to continue education through life. We want to continue developing our personal, continual development. That is how we can improve, that's how we can look at issues and actually make them more efficient. And we can make a process more efficient to reach effectiveness. So we can do that in our business lives. All of us can actually be effective people as we work in our businesses, as we work at our jobs. Working together to be more effective will get us out of this. The Isle of Man has done it before. We've had ups and downs. I'm sure a number of you here will remember the 1980s, how tough it was then, but we did get out of it, and we'll get out of this one again. But we have to work together. The faster and better we can work together is the faster we can get out of this dip at the moment. And working together. We're all Manx people. We can actually work together to get out of this better. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I'm looking forward to the questions that you've sent in tonight, and looking forward to answering them. Thank you very much.